Hello everyone, it's Christmas Day, but by the time you watch this it won't be. So I hope everyone had a good Christmas. So we're spending Christmas up here in the shed. Best place to spend it in my opinion. So we came up yesterday on Christmas Eve. We had a few things to do. We had to get straight into chopping the firewood for the wood burner in the shed, and then put my Christmas lights up. And then we had I think it's a Norwegian spruce that we had growing in the back garden in like half a whiskey barrel, but it was getting a bit stunted, the roots were coming out, so we brought that into the woods and we planted that. And yeah, had a quiet night, a couple of drinks, listened to the radio. We're up this morning. I was going to say early, but it's not early. Didn't get out of bed till about 8:10. But we're going to attempt to cook a Christmas dinner around the campfire. I've got a couple of Dutch ovens and the Finnish Lomu reflector oven, so I'll sort the logistics of that out later on. But what I'm going to do now is get into the hazel stash here and chop up a load of firewood for the campfire. But it's really nice to get away from the hustle and bustle of the festive period, and you know, we're going to be up here for 3 days, 3 nights, and by the time we get back to civilization, the whole Christmas thing will be over. The older I get, the more I become like Scrooge, but with less chance of any personal redemption. So I've got plenty of hazelwood sawn. Just going to split some of it now. Hazel's pretty good for Dutch oven cooking. Because it's a hardwood, you can get some decent long burning coals which you can lift up and stick on top of the Dutch oven. I've had to kind of enlarge the fire pit a little bit because I've got a few different cooking vessels to go around the fire today. So here's Trace. Looks like you've just got up, have you?
Yeah, I came to chop some wood, but it looks like it's all been done.
That's handy, isn't it? So we're just using one of these Bigfoot bushcraft fire starters to get the fire going. And just pop that in amongst this pine kindling. Now I'm just going to use one of my dodgy feather sticks to get this other little fire going down this end of the fire pit. And then I'll try and bridge the two fires together once they get going. So the fire's roaring away there. I managed to spread it out. It was a little tricky, but it's on the go, and I've just cracked open the first beer of Christmas Day. It's gone 12 o'clock now, so it's perfectly acceptable. Now this is a Christmas white beer by Marks and Spencer with warm spices and citrus, and it is made by the Hacked Brewery, brewed and bottled in Belgium, 5.1%. This was given to me by my sister and brother-in-law for Christmas, so cheers guys. Very nice, very mellow actually. I was expecting a bit more hit from the spice, but it's not. It's a nice easy drinking continental style white beer. Really nice, very nice that. Yeah, I've got another one of these as well, so I'll have a few beers before we get the Christmas dinner on. I haven't had anything to eat today, so I'll be rat arsed by about 2:30. But That's what you do on Christmas Day, isn't it? So it's all looking pretty good and it's giving off some lovely heat. Just going to try and flatten the fire out a bit now and get a few of the larger logs on. So we've got a couple of Dutch ovens on the go. In the big one at the end there we've got some chicken legs which we pre-seasoned overnight, and this one here we've just got some vegetables to roast, some carrot, parsnip and potato, and then I've got some pigs and blankets and stuffing to go into the reflector oven, and I think we've got some gravy as well, so that's going to be Christmas dinner 2022. It's not too bad. I'm on to the second bottle of the Christmas white beer, so I'm just going to sit back for a while and then I'll check the food in about 15 minutes I think, just to make sure nothing's getting stuck to the bottom of the oven. So we're not far off now. The chicken's pretty much cooked. The vegetables, it's gone a little bit mushy. The potato, the parsnip and the carrot, but that doesn't matter. It's pretty much cooked. We've got some stuffing balls on there which are almost done. I'm just waiting on the pigs and blankets, and then I've got a billy can with a few sprouts in. We'll get them on and then we'll use the water to knock up some gravy, and then we'll eat Christmas dinner. I cracked open a Christmas porter earlier on, which is one of Sainsbury's own brand beers. It's really nice, 5.2%, so I can definitely recommend that. They usually sell it sometimes. After Christmas last year I was picking bottles of this up for 80p, so if you're in Sainsbury's keep your eye out. The Christmas porter, really nice. So that wasn't the best looking Christmas dinner I've ever had, but up in the woods, aesthetics aren't really important when it comes to food. You just need something to eat, and that dinner went down well. So we've just been boiling up some water to do the washing up. We're going to tidy the campsite area up and just enjoy the rest of the light and have a glass of mulled wine, I think, while the fire's still going. I've got the TGM Metalworks mini fire anchor here, so we'll get that in the ground. And I've got the hook attachment with it, if you can see that. And I've got some Jamshed Shiraz here, which is it's a pretty sweet wine to begin with, so I'm not going to add any sugar because I don't really like how mulled wine is so sweet. You know, people add a lot of sugar, but just find it a bit too sickly. But this Shiraz will be sweet enough. And I'm going to add one of these little mulled wine tea bag things. It's just like a little tea bag. You just whack that into the wine and we'll gently warm it over the fire. Just tidying up. I'm going to make sure I bring these chains inside. I don't want to hear the ghost of Christmas past Walking around outside the shed in the middle of the night. Well, cheers Tris. Happy Christmas.
Christmas.
Whoa. Morning everyone. So it's the day after Christmas Day, Boxing Day. We got up this morning around 9 o'clock, had a couple of cups of coffee, and we've come out to do some hazel coppicing. So we've got some overgrown hazel trees just behind the shed here. So we're going to spend most of the day trimming them back, getting ourselves some firewood, and we'll open up the space, open up the mid canopy, so over the next few years the sunlight can get to the forest floor, which will contribute to some new growth over the next few years. So processing this hazel is pretty labour intensive, but there's two good things that come out of it. The first one is I think I'm going to be calorie neutral over this festive period. The calories that I've taken in terms of booze and food, I've expended working on the woodlands over the last couple of days. And the second thing is that this hazel that we've got here, I'll saw it up, I'll put it in the back of the truck, we'll stack it when we get home. And in 2 years time it'll heat the house for a couple of weekends. And I'm pretty sure we're still going to be in an energy crisis in a couple of years, so it's all worth the effort in the end really. But yeah, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon now. The sun is beginning to set. I'm going to try and get through as much of this hazel as I can and get it loaded into the truck, and then we might get a fire lit outside and sit around that for a couple of hours. So this is the wood burner that we use in the shed. It was originally bought to go in a 4-metre bell tent years and years ago, and I've since promoted it to the shed. I think it's a 3.5 kilowatt, and it's really good actually. It heats this small shed up very well. You can see all this wood we've got here behind. That'll easily last me all evening, and then it'll enable me to heat the cabin up in the morning and boil a few kettles of water on the top plate here. And yeah, it's a nifty little unit. It's got a little air vent on the front here. I'm just gonna clear the ash out of it now and get ready to burn it this evening. So all the chores are done. I'm just building a campfire at the moment. We're going to get this lit, and I'm going to drink a beer, and I'll give you a look at this lantern that I've been sent by Mifa Wild Camping, or Mifa Wild Camping, not sure how you pronounce it, but it's a cracking little bit of kit. It's a lantern with a Bluetooth speaker in, and the speaker is outstanding. It's really good quality. I was very surprised with it. So we've used it all weekend, and I used it for a few days at home as well before we came up here. So I'll try and demonstrate it if I can. Try and play some royalty-free music through it and see if the microphone on the camera picks it up. We'll just use one of these Bigfoot bushcraft fire starters again. There we go. I'll just chuck that in there. So let's give this Yorkshire pudding beer a go. Made with real Yorkshire puddings, 3.6%. Can't really read any of the back because my eyesight's so bad. Yeah, so we'll leave that bit out. I think I need to go to Specsavers really. Get my eyes tested. Getting on a bit. Right, here we go. Yorkshire pudding there. I'll have to say thanks to my brother-in-law Stephen, who bought me this. So cheers, mate. It doesn't smell like Yorkshire puddings, but you wouldn't really expect it to, would you? Doesn't really taste of Yorkshire pudding either. It's a nice drop. Not too bitter. Not hoppy at all. Yeah, it's lovely. But I just can't taste any Yorkshire pudding. So let's take a look at this Bluetooth speaker. It's actually really impressive. They sent me this to test out. So if you look on the top, you've got your controls, you've got your volume controls, you've got the light control, and you've got the pairing function for your Bluetooth. And then on the side here you've got sockets. You've got the charging socket via USB or USB-C. You've also got an SD card socket here, so you can load some tunes onto your SD card and whack it straight into the speaker. Underneath you've got I think it's a 1/4-inch jack, so you can stand it up on a tripod. On the top you've got this nice rubberized handle, and then on the lantern section you've got toughened plastic, which is pretty cool. And then on the bottom you've got this 360-degree speaker, and I'm not kidding, the speaker is fantastic. I was really surprised. I was using it in the house for a few days before we came up here. Now to turn it on, you've just got an on-off button here. It's on at the moment, but I'll just turn it off. Makes that noise. I'll just put it back on. And if you want to use the light, there's just a dial on the top. So you just spin the dial and the light comes on. And you've got another button on the top if you want a white light instead of this orange light. But I prefer the orange warm light. So yeah, it's a nifty little unit. The company's called Mifa or Mifa, and they make a lot of Bluetooth speakers, and they are really good quality. And this unit here, it's also got an IP67 rating, so it's not going to be bothered with a bit of dust or moisture. So I think it would be ideal if you are travelling overland. I'm going to take this next year. We're off up to Sweden. This will be coming with me in the truck, or if you've got a camper van, or even if you like to listen to a bit of Bob Dylan around the campfire. It's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is we're going to set it up, and I'll try and play some royalty-free music through it and just give you an indication of how good the speaker is. It's yeah, nice little unit. Another thing as well, you can actually charge your phone as you go. Just plug it into the USB socket and keep your phone topped up as well. So I've got some royalty-free music here on the phone. It's connected to the speaker, so I'm going to press play and give you a listen. So I hope the camera and microphone done the 360-degree speaker justice. I had the camera about 7 foot away from the lantern, but the sound quality is amazing. And because of the 360-degree speaker, you can walk around it as well, and you're not getting any drop off in sound quality. So I'll put all of the links underneath the video if you are in the market for something like this. I think at the moment it retails for $160 US, which is about 145, 150 pounds. So yeah, we'll see how we get on with it. I do like the build quality, and the sound is fantastic. It also comes with a heavy duty carry case and the lead to charge it as well. So yeah, I'm going to take it back over to the campfire now and listen to some music and finish the rest of that beer. Just getting smoked out here. It doesn't matter where I sit, it's just blowing straight in my face. Oh, there we go, it's moved for the time being. So yeah, well, that was 2022. Flew by, didn't it? The older you get, the quicker time passes, the years just whiz by. But it was a pretty good year. I mean, all we done was hike. Started off with the West Highland Way, really enjoyed that. We've done a fair few trips up to the Lake District and up to the Cairngorms. That loop we done was good, around the Larrig Grew, and then a trip to Iceland, the Laugavega Trail. Oh, that was epic. I loved every minute of that trip. It was fantastic. So yeah, it's been a year of hiking. This time last year we were up in Scotland with the canoe, and I've only been out in my canoe once since then in an entire year. And that was just a few weeks ago up in the Lake District. We paddled Lake Windermere. I just didn't really find the opportunity to get a canoe trip organised. But next year we're going to be heading up to Sweden, and we've bought one of those alley canoes, the packable canoes, because we've been struggling for a while thinking, how do we take a canoe with us onto the continent and have the comfort and practicality of the rooftop tent? We couldn't think of a way, because the tent that we have, you can't really fasten anything on top of it, or nothing like a 30 kilogram hard shell canoe. So hopefully this alley canoe will give us the perfect combination, so we can just head up into Scandinavia, maybe do a few days here, a few days there canoeing, and still do a bit of overlanding as well. So I'm really looking forward to that trip. It's getting pretty dark now. The sun has almost completely set. It's getting a bit cold as well. It's due to get down to just above freezing tonight. So I think I'll let this fire burn out. I'll finish me Yorkshire pudding beer, which is really nice. Worth picking up a bottle of that if you come across it. And I think I'll retire to the shed for the evening. Hook up my Bluetooth to my little speaker and listen to some tunes. Morning everyone, got coffee number 3 on the go. So yeah, it was a pretty chilly night last night in the shed. I was woken up at just before 7 this morning by a tawny owl calling pretty loudly outside, and I have to say it's probably the best alarm clock call you can wake up to. But I got the fire on, and it took about half an hour, 40 minutes before the shed was sufficiently warm enough to get out of the sleeping bag. But yeah, it's a still day. I think it's about 2 degrees now, and it looks like it might rain. It looks like there's plenty of clouds up there. Not quite cold enough for snow, but it's really calm. There's not a breath of wind. It's really quiet and still. Well guys, we're all packed up and we're going to be heading home. So we'd just like to say thanks for watching the video. Thanks for watching the videos over the last year, and for all the comments and all the thumbs up. We do appreciate it. It's what keeps us making these videos. So yeah, we're going to sign off for the last time this year. So all the best to everyone, Happy New Year, and stay safe. See ya.
Bye. Stay safe. Oh.